Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my Friday questions and answers, episode 39, I think. But it is apparent that there are less questions now in the comment section because of the new Google Plus thing. So I think that plays a big issue in people not knowing how to comment anymore and not knowing what they need to do to be able to comment. I can't even comment on my own videos anymore because I'm not. I have rejected the fact that Google Plus is taking over my YouTube channel. So with that fact, I can't post it in the comments anymore. It sucks. So until they force me to do so, I won't be able to comment on my own videos. And I think it's the same case for a lot of people. So I think there's only 14 questions this week when there's normally like 20 or at least 25, sometimes even 30. So with that in mind, please leave a question in the comment section below so you can be featured in episode 40 next Friday. Actually, just got back from school. I skipped math. It's no math Friday for me every week. But let's go. Let's go ahead and get into the questions and get this over with. All right, DJ Hayes says it hurts to know that you say Mark Richt should be fired. He actually has 2 SEC titles and has had 5 SEC championship game appearances. I mean that's a hard question. I mean I think it's not the fact that he hasn't been. He's been successful to a point, but it's just the fact that he hasn't taken Georgia to that next level, which many fans expect and want out of the program. And obviously, over this period of time, he hasn't been able to do so. So that's the reason. I don't think he should be fired. I mean, that's hard to say, like you say, against a guy he's had success, but not the success on an absolute national stage as. For example, the national championship. He hasn't done that. So, all right, Spencer Rigsby says, why do you think Vanderbilt still has no respect in the SEC? After the win against Florida, all people talk about is how Muschamp needs to be fired, and they refer to the loss as, I guess, that's the last straw. Vandy's 5-4. Certainly isn't which certainly isn't good, but they're about to make a bowl game in 3 straight years, which has never happened at Vanderbilt. Why do still people talk about them like they're the same Vanderbilt they've always been? I can't really answer that question for you because I'm completely opposite of the people that you're portraying in this question. I respect Vanderbilt. I think they've completely turned the program around. It's awesome to see what's going on there at Vanderbilt. They're a very good team. They should be respected, as was seen last week against Florida. They can beat anybody any given week. Even with the loss of Jordan Rodgers and the injury to Austin Carter-Samuels, they're still finding ways to beat teams like Florida, and they're being very competitive. The year before they went to the bowl game, the year before Franklin got there, it had been how many years since they made a bowl game? A very, very long time. I believe they beat Boston College. It might have been in that bowl game, or I think it was Boston College. I'm not sure. But yeah, they should be respected. I'm not sure why they have no respect. Probably just because people assume because they're Vanderbilt, unintelligent football-minded people who just portray Vanderbilt as Vandy are the reasons why. Because they're not intelligent and just always expect the same teams to be good every year and consider everybody else a nobody who get on my last nerves. If you can put 11 people on the field, you have a chance to win. That's all that matters. And people are just stupid. But I mean, I completely respect Vanderbilt. I don't know why other people do, or why other people don't. Jeremy Dotson says, "What do you think about FSU this year?" I think they're a very good team. I think they have the best shot to beat Alabama out of anybody in the country. I really do think that because it's been shown. I actually just wrote my BCS bowl projections and predictions for those games for the paper this past week, and I said for the national championship game I have Alabama versus Florida State, and it's shown in the past the formula a team needs to abide by to be able to beat Alabama. It comes down to one thing: is to have a dual threat quarterback who is surprisingly good at throwing the football, and that's Jameis Winston isn't surprisingly good throwing the football. He is amazing at throwing the football, makes great decisions. He can scramble, he can run, has a big arm, and he's extremely intelligent football wise as a redshirt freshman. So I think they're a very good team. I think their running backs, though, are a little bit overrated, as do I think their wide receivers are really good, but they're not. I wouldn't categorize them as elite, as a lot of people are, but I do think they're a very, very good team and has the best chance to dethrone Alabama this season. JT Plays Games says Clemson is going to a BCS Bowl. True or false? It all comes down to one game. That's the South Carolina game at the end of the season. If they win that game, yes. If they lose that game, probably not. I don't see a 2-loss Clemson with the schedule that they've played. Yes, they beat Georgia, even though the Georgia win doesn't look good anymore, even though it should. But people forget the fact that was a full-fledged Georgia team, not a decimated team like it is now. So they were a lot better at the beginning of the season than they were now. But still, regardless from the rest of that schedule, if they lose to South Carolina, 2 out of the 3 tough games they played, they would have lost. So I'm not sure if they make a bowl game if they lose to South Carolina, but if they win that game, yes, probably the Orange Bowl. Depending on what Florida State does. If Florida State somehow loses and does not make the national championship, I don't see Clemson making a BCS Bowl. Because I put Florida in the Florida in the Orange Bowl, which would take away an at-large bid for Clemson, and you might see another team jump over Clemson and take a spot. But right now, I will say they win the game against South Carolina, yes. If they don't, if they lose to South Carolina, no. And if they do make a bowl game, a BCS bowl game will probably be the Orange Bowl. Razorback 1995. Do you think Brett Bielema will succeed at Arkansas? I think to a point, but I don't think he's gonna get to where they compete for the SEC West year in and year out. Yeah, maybe every couple years or so, but I don't know. I just think I like the hire a little bit when it was first announced, but the way he's acted. For example, the Gus Malzahn thing, that just rubs me the wrong way with him. But I still think he's a good coach. Bringing the right personnel. I think he just got stuck into a team this year that does not have the personnel whatsoever to run this type of offense and just team in general that he wants to run. So give him a couple of years. I think he can bring Arkansas back to a respectable team. But competing for the SEC, I'm not sure. It really just depends how you define succeed. I mean, I can see him as a coach to bring Arkansas to a bowl game every year, year in and year out. But I'm not sure if he's that guy that'll be able to help Arkansas compete for the SEC every single year. Jackson Bear 1 proposes a very good question. What do you think about Jake Locker's future as a Titan? Before I answer this, just know that Jake Locker is my favorite player on the Titans, bar none. He is my favorite. But looking at this franchise in a bigger perspective, it's really questionable rather Jake Locker is what we need moving forward. Not because his talent is questionable. No, he's shown this season that for the most part of the season that he has the talent to win you a football game and does the things that he needs to do to win you a football game. But you can't invest so much into one player at the most important position, at the quarterback position, and have them getting hurt every single year and completely screwing over your team. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, obviously, it's not his fault. But, I mean, you can't invest that much into a quarterback and get nothing out of it. I think you really need to look at drafting a quarterback, whether it be in the first, second round, to not necessarily have him compete, well, not necessarily to take over Jake Locker's spot, but to compete. And if he's good enough, either let him start or definitely have him as the second stringer in case Jake Locker gets hurt, so we can have somebody. And I think if we do that, go that route, and Jake Locker gets hurt again, I think that should be it. Get that guy who's second string, that the rookie we bring in, we draft, and let him take the reins and just go from there. So I think one more injury from Jake Locker next season, I think that will do it, and that should, I'm not saying end his career as a Titan, but I think we should give another guy a shot to take over the franchise and try to become that franchise quarterback we need. And for that to be able to be the case, we need a guy in the reins to have the opportunity to do so if those unforeseen, unfortunate circumstances come to play. So have a guy ready in case Jake Locker gets hurt next season to have the chance to become the next franchise quarterback. So kind of complicated, but I think you get my drift. Uh, Carson Jacobs, you think Kentucky will be good or okay next season? I think they're getting better. I'm not sure if they'll be necessarily good, but I think they'll be continuously getting better. I mean, they don't have much talent right now, and as long as Mark Stoops keep recruiting like he is, I mean, he has the 8th rated class right now according to Rivals.com. And I mean, if you bring in talent, you're eventually going to get something good out of it. So I think eventually, I'm not sure if they'll be a full team next season, but give them 2-3 years of recruiting classes like this, and they'll gain some respect in the SEC and continuously get better a little bit at a time. And who knows how it can go from there. Cody Dodds asked, do you think Derrick Henry has a chance to start over Kenyon Drake once TJ leaves? And also, who do you think will step up for quarterback at Alabama, Cooper Bateman or Blake Sims? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he has a chance to start over him. But, I mean, it really doesn't matter who starts over who because they really split time. I mean, maybe you see TJ more at a 60-40 rate than a 50-50, but, I mean, it's pretty much in hindsight, it's split in the carry. So, a question like that really is irrelevant because both players will play a good bit, and they're both very, very good running backs. But yeah, I do think both running backs are very, very good and have shots at the NFL. All three of them, if you count TJ in there. But TJ is going to be gone for another year, so I mean TJ is going to be here for at least another year because he's only a true sophomore. So we don't have to worry about that for another year or so. And I think in over the next year, one of those two running backs will emerge as a definite starter for the future. And who do you think will step up for quarterback at Alabama? I'm assuming means next year. Cooper Bateman, Blake Sims. Honestly, I don't think neither of those guys. I think Blake Sims is going to come down to 3 guys and possibly a fourth. The 3 guys I think comes down to is Blake Sims, Alec Morris, and Luke Del Rio. The 4th guy, which has been talked about for a long time, is Jacob Coker. You might ask, who is Jacob Coker? He is not on Alabama's roster. He is actually the backup quarterback for Florida State. And the guy is very talented, and you wouldn't be able to know that because the guy that who's starting over him might win the Heisman, Jameis Winston, so that kind of screws him over there. But he has the rule in place where he'll be graduating from Florida State, earning his degree in the spring, I think, early spring. So he can transfer anywhere, FBS level, and play immediately. And there's been a lot of speculation around him coming to Alabama and starting. And I think he'll have 2 years of eligibility left. Yes, the Jeremiah Masoli rule. Don't forget, he transferred from Oregon to Ole Miss, played for 1 year, and left. I think they put a rule in place where you can't do that and only play 1 year, but if you have 2 years of eligibility left, that's acceptable. So that's a possibility. And if he comes, I really do think he has the talent and presence to be our starter and lead us to a really good season. And if that doesn't happen, it comes down to Blake Sims, Alec Morris, Luke Del Rio, and they all 3 have their different strengths and different negatives. Their different weaknesses. Alec Morris, I think, has the best arm talent out of the 3. He really, really does remind me of Ben Roethlisberger. The size, arm strength, footwork, the unique ability to escape from the pocket, that he really reminds me of Alec Morris by far. Reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger. He has by far the strongest arm on the team. Blake Sims has the experience factor and the speed and athleticism factor. He's, obviously the most experienced backup quarterback. He's played every game in mop-up duty. He's been the quarterback to come in. He hasn't made the plays that you would want to see out of a future starter, but you can't tell me you went back and saw A.J. McCarron come in and back in mop-up duty and play well and look like a future possible 3-time national championship winner. You can't say that about Greg McElroy either. So at least he has the experience behind him. So I think he'd be the leader starting off. And he hasn't looked bad. He also brings something else, different assets to the table in a read option game from our offense, which wouldn't hurt. So he has experience, and that's obviously a positive moving forward. And I think if there was a clear-cut leader over Blake Sims, why wouldn't you start him or let him get mop-up duty opposed to Blake Sims? So obviously they like something about Blake Sims, and they're serious about him getting a starting job next season. And the 3rd guy, like I said, Luke Del Rio, he has the what can I say, the football IQ, the leadership qualities, the intelligence, and he's also got a pretty talented arm as well. The son of a coach, Jack Del Rio, who's now the acting head coach of the Denver Broncos after John Fox had the heart surgery. He's actually the defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, I'm not sure. But he's the acting head coach now. So he's a football-minded guy. He's talented. You can tell from his quotes that you see on websites comparing him to the other quarterbacks. He's a leader. He's smart. He knows what it takes to win. So based on that alone, I see like a guy like that competing for the job. So it comes down to 3 guys on the team, a possible 4th if he transfers. That being Jacob Coker, Alec Morris, Blake Sims, and Luke Del Rio. That was a long answer, but that's that. I really was not impressed with Cooper Bateman when I've seen him play in All-Star games on his highlight tape and stuff of that stature. He's really not impressed me. So that's why I always discard Cooper Bateman, and I'm not recall seeing Parker McLeod play. All right, 3 more questions left to go. Daniel Perry, do you think the Lions will make the playoffs? If so, how well do you think they will do? Also, if you think they will be one and done, what do you think they need to add to their team to have a shot at eventually winning the Super Bowl or playing in the Super Bowl? I actually do think they win the North. I think they can make the playoffs. They're the most talented team. I think the defense is coming together, doing what they have to do to win. Not saying they're great, but they're doing what they have to do to win because we all know they have a talented offense alone in Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson, and there's some other pieces around that are coming together and really helping out that offense to compete at a higher level than they have in years past based on those 2 players. The defense has a nasty front. I wouldn't say front 7. I'd say just pretty much the defensive line really can get to the quarterback and you have to get a lot of penalties and might not be the best character guys, but they get to the quarterback and they're extremely talented. So the front 7, the front 4 really is what makes that defense. And I'm not too confident in the back 7, but it's they're doing enough to I believe win the North and compete. Can they win the first round of the playoffs? Win in the playoffs, it really depends on how their defense does. I think they could win a game. But I think eventually they find a team that could destroy that secondary and pretty much outscore them. So I think to add to the team, it obviously do I think they need to add to the team to be a Super Bowl contender? Definitely back 7 on the defense. Just add in some pieces. It's not just one guy at one position. They need linebacker, defensive back, safeties, maybe another wide receiver to complement Calvin Johnson. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Do I need to get that? Can you guys deal with that? It's all the way across my house, and I'm not like going to get it, and I'll make a long space in the video. So just end. All right. Spencer Rigsby also ask, also, when did you become a Call of Duty bad A? I just came across your other channel. Jesus Christ. That's how I started out on YouTube. Actually, I made Call of Duty videos like 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, 09, 2010. It's really got my start on YouTube. I got a lot of subscribers. I had like 2,000 at one point, and that's what I did. That's what some people do when they're younger. And I just played a lot of Call of Duty, and I wasn't that great. I really wasn't. I just had some good moments, and I made a lot of videos. And the videos that you saw on that other channel are somewhere a mix of older videos and videos I made just as recent as a year and a half ago or a year ago. I don't get to play Call of Duty much anymore. I just got Ghost, and I played it a little bit, but before that I haven't played a Call of Duty game in probably a year and a half since one of those videos, really. But yeah, you should be pretty good. Made I think some pretty decent videos. But like I said, those I had a channel. I think it had up to like 3,000 subscribers, and the other channel is just a new channel I just made to upload some new stuff if I ever wanted to make new ones. It doesn't have many subscribers at all. I was getting about 1,000 views a video, and then I stopped. I only did it for about a year and a half, If I didn't stop, I didn't stop, man, I hate thinking about that. If I didn't stop, I think I easily could have around 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. I really do. That sucks. Could be making some money. But yeah, I'm not nearly as good as I used to be. But yeah, I used to be pretty good. Used to be pretty good. And it sucks though because I deleted my old channel that I had all those subscribers on, and I ended up reopening it. But when you do that, it deletes all your videos. It's like 100 something videos on that channel, which all had a lot. Well, most of them had a lot of views, and it got deleted. So all the videos were deleted, and I just ended up changing channels, which was to my old S3 Tide account before I made this one. And you probably can, you got privated all the videos. I only made like 5 videos on there before I just quit it all, and I ended up making these type of videos on S3 Tide. And then I ended up changing channels again. I'm sticking on this one because I finally got a partnership. But I think the most viewed video I ever had was like, I made one type of montage video. Yeah, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 views, something like that. If I kept it up, man, I would probably have a lot more. But yeah, that's the answer to that. Okay. DJ Hayes says, why isn't Aaron Murray an award finalist? He has broken several SEC records, touchdown passes, and total offense this year, and he's played like crazy and gets no recognition. All A.J. McCarron does is make completions, and he is a Heisman hopeful. I know he has 2 national titles, but I thought defense wins championships, not quarterbacks. I do think that statement's a little bit overrated, though. That statement that says defense wins championships, you got to have an offense to win a national championship. Yes, defense is a big part of it, but you can shut somebody out and not score, and the game's still tied no matter how bad the other team plays. But I think something that's happening now, which is kind of understandable, kind of isn't, however you put it. His team just hasn't won, and that, I mean, yes, he's played good, he's played his heart out, but that really drops a player, especially a quarterback, off the radar, and that's a big thing. That his games aren't really. I mean, they're nationally televised, but aren't so closely watched that every single move he makes is oohed and awed at by the crowd, because it's not that intense of games aside from the 2 fan bases playing, because there's no national implications into the game. I think that's a big reason why. Yes, he's broken records, but when you use A.J. McCarron as an example, you can kind of compare the two in the way you're bringing out this argument. You say you bring out touchdown passes and total offense as a argument. He's broke those 2 records, but that's more of a career award right there. A.J. McCarron, same thing. People want to argue that why is he in the why is he in the Heisman discussion? The reason he is because he possibly can lead his team to 3 straight national championships. You're saying that, and that you're negating that as a career award, and that a career stat, and that shouldn't apply to the Heisman discussion because he hasn't done anything spectacular this season. And I can understand that argument, but if you're going to make that argument about A.J. McCarron, you just can't do that for Aaron Murray. Yes, he's put up some good stats. That's a career award. So is A.J. McCarron's career national championship stat, whatever. But, I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's going to go on. I think he's going to end up starting eventually in the NFL. But I really have to disagree with you on him being an award finalist. Because a lot of it's put on winning. And, I mean, sometimes it shouldn't be, but that's in real certain cases. And no, I don't think A.J. McCarron should win the Heisman. I think it should probably be Johnny Manziel. But there's a time, like I said, I kind of contradicted myself there, but there's a time when absolute talent and ridiculous play, as in Johnny Manziel's case, overcomes that. If it's not Johnny Manziel, probably Jameis Winston. Because he's played out of his mind. But that's been it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/S3RTR. Be sure to leave a question in the comment section below so you can be featured in next week's episode. I actually feel like I did a good job in this video. Last couple weeks, in a bunch of my videos, I felt like I didn't even make sense. And I actually like this video. I like my answers. But I hope you liked them too. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed. Have a great week. And until next time, roll Tide and go Sox. Go Titans to you. And go Jags too. I never say that, but my hat says it for me. But till next time, guys. Peace.